Cashflow Diary Podcast, episode 336.
Welcome to yet another exciting episode of the Cashflow Diary Podcast, the podcast that teaches you insider tips, tactics, and strategies for creating leverage streams of cash flow into your life. Learn from top-performing entrepreneurs, business owners, investors, and thought leaders from across the globe as they share their secrets to success. Like what you learn on this and other Cashflow Diary podcast episodes? Go to learninvestingnow.com and sign up to receive powerful tips and information that will help you succeed as an entrepreneur and investor. Now, here's your host, investor, entrepreneur, business owner, educator, speaker, author, and master facilitator of Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow game, Jay Massey.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Cashflow Diary Podcast. I am your host, Jay Massey, and I'm glad that you're here today because we have something for you that I don't think you've seen, but you've thought about it. And you're like, Jay, what are you talking about? Well, here's what I mean. You've been in the process of buying and selling a home. You've done that before. Maybe you've done it hundreds of times for all of your rental properties. And you've probably said to yourself, there has got to be a better way. I mean, for goodness sakes, we're still using paper, right? Here's my point. Other entrepreneurs have also said the same thing, but very few have done something about it. And I have with me today a man who has. And that's exactly why I'm excited to introduce you to none other than Tommy Sowers. Now, I'm excited to introduce you to Tommy, but I'm also excited to introduce you to his company, GoldenKey. But more importantly, and as you guys know, I'm excited to introduce you to someone who has also served us inside of our military. Because that's really close and important to me because he has fought and defended the freedoms that you and I have that we get to take advantage of every time we go to develop a product or service and serve someone. So hopefully you are ready to pay attention and remove some of the frustration out of the process of buying and selling your property. Help me welcome Tommy Sowers. Tommy, you there?
I'm here, Jay. That's a great intro. I'm blushing right now. Thank you for that.
Well, good. Let's get to this. Now, I have a question that I tend to ask everybody the first time that they're here. Are you ready?
Sure.
All right. So I tend to look at today's entrepreneurs a lot like yesterday's superheroes. So, you got Batman, Robin, I guess in your case, G.I. Joe to various degrees. And before the superhero was out there being super, they had an origin story. They did something. So if you think about Spider-Man, he was just pretty much a college kid trying to, get his grades and go to class. And he was taking photos for the newspaper. And then something changed and he became super. He had to make a decision to go out there and use his powers for good and evil. And we know the rest of the story. My question to you, though, is before all the things yet you have done, and the list is long, before GoldenKey, before being the person that you are today, we want to know, who is Tommy Sowers?
That's a great question. So I think the easiest way is I'm the son and grandson of entrepreneurs. And, when you grow up in that environment, you realize that problems are there to be solved. And I think that's one of the defining aspects of entrepreneurs. They see a challenge out there. We saw that in the home buying process, and you don't wait for somebody else to solve it. So that's the quick answer for it.
Well, I like what you said about not waiting for someone else to solve it, because I think many of us have seen problems in the marketplace and said somebody should do something about that.
That's right. And, in my case, I thought you were going to say, what was I before GoldenKey and what was the origin story, the spider bite. And for me, it was two misdemeanors, breaking and entering and trespassing into a home that was vacant. Statute of limitations has passed, but I was sitting outside of it. I had found it out online, and I just did not want to pay full all-you-can-eat, agent commission just to, put in an offer and take it through close.
Okay.
And so that was the spider bite for me, and then I used some Green Beret skills in order to gain access to the home.
You can't tell me about them, or you have to shoot me, right? I totally,
yeah, exactly.
Totally understood. Now, but I have a question. So that's exactly where I was headed. So you were in the marketplace trying to find a property. You found one. And when you went to go buy it, you're saying the agent still wanted you to pay full blown commissions and all that other stuff in order to take down the property, and you didn't feel you needed to.
Well, I'm sure many of your listeners, whether it's for investment or their own personal property, have bought and sold homes.
At least once.
Yeah, at least once, exactly. And what's happened is, the search process has radically changed. Everyone's online. 97% of people do their search online. And now over half of home buyers actually find the home that they want to buy themselves.
Mm-hmm,
And, that was me. I was sitting outside this home with my wife. We had all the information on our smartphones. But in order to do the next step, to see the home, and the next step to put in an offer, it's really just the way that our parents and grandparents did it. I would have had to wait, call an agent, and they're happy to let you in and show you the home. But of course, they're going to charge you 3%. And that is when you pay commission, when you buy a home, and then when you sell the home, that actually destroys over 50% of home equity. And anyone that has done that and sold the home and go, whoa, wow, I'm not going to get that $400,000. I'm going to get 376. That is, it was that initial thing that said, how can I do this without paying that 3%? And the key thing, though, on GoldenKey is unbundled, on-demand, no commission real estate. It's not do it yourself. It's not you're on your own. I actually wanted an agent to let me in and tell me about it. I just wanted to pay for that service. And I needed an agent to help me negotiate. I just wanted to pay for that service. And that's what GoldenKey allows you to do. And when you buy or sell the home, you get a rebate of the entire 3% back to you. And that's a big check, no matter if you're buying in Santa Monica or Silena.
Wherever that might be. Yes. Now, and that, well, it's interesting that you mentioned that, because I know I have negotiated that on some of my deals, especially some of the larger ones. It's like, look, I just want you to run the paperwork.
That's right.
I don't need you to do, I've done all the other stuff. I'm not asking for your advice, i.e., is this a good property? What do I need to do? I just want you to run the paperwork. And in exchange for that, I want you to accept a lower commission. But you've taken the need to do that away and brought it to the residential level, because I was doing that on commercial transactions more than the residential ones. So I like that idea.
Yeah, Jay, like you're our customer. It's these folks that are, experienced home buyers that have already hacked the system, that realize the stuff is negotiable. But what's different about us is the reason we work is, yes, we solve this big problem for consumers, but what we really solve is the agent problem. And what that is there's
the
about
agent
two.
Yeah, I was going to say the agent problem. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Yeah, so there's 2 million agents in America. It is the largest 1099 workforce in America.
Wow.
And the top 5% make 90% of the $60 billion of commission every year. So that leaves 95%, 1.8 million agents, give or take, that are licensed, they're trained, they're insured, they can do the parts of real estate. And maybe they'd like not to do the entire full stack. Maybe they'd love to just show homes or just do the paperwork. But the commission-based model, all you can eat, you got to deal with looky-loos, people that only pay when it closes. It doesn't work for the vast majority of agents. But if they could get paid for what they do, and these are simple, transparent fees, $50 to show a home, $100 to put in an offer, $800 to help with the paperwork contract through close. That is very appealing to the vast majority of agents that are out there. They don't have to give up their day job. They can still pursue traditional real estate. They can just do this in addition to it, or if you're in a part-time status, which the vast majority of agents are, this could almost be their entire supplemental income. So it sounds radical, but it really is. Agents get paid for what you do, and consumers pay for what you need and use, and that is it. That's the simplicity and the beauty of GoldenKey.
So genius! It's like, what a concept. I'm only going to pay you for what you've done. Well, that sounds good to me. Yeah, no, but there's never been a mechanism to do this, and you guys are leveraging technology to make this happen.
Exactly. So, I mean, one of the reasons, there's a book called A la carte Real Estate that was published in 2000. And, for all the entrepreneurs out there, you probably have an original idea. You probably don't, actually. Like, it's probably been thought of before, but is it the right time? And of course, there's been a regulatory change in real estate where these rebates are now legal in 40 out of 50 states. There's been a technology change where everyone's carrying a supercomputer in their pocket, and then
Right.
there's just been a behavior change. People are doing more of the work. Consumers are doing more of the work of buying and selling their home. They're pricing it. They're deciding. They're looking. But the economics is still exactly the same. And look, I know there are the vast majority of consumers. Well, I don't want to say the vast majority. There's a lot of consumers that need all you can eat, full service, traditional real estate.
Right.
But there's a growing share of people that don't. And GoldenKey allows them to connect with licensed insured agents who have unbundled their services. You pay only for what you need, and you get the full commission, not half the commission, not a point of the commission, the full commission rebated back to you when you close.
Now, I'm just going to say that the democratization of information is part of what makes, this business model even viable. But how do the agent, I'm just trying to understand the logistics of connecting. Like, I'm in California, but I want to buy a property in North Carolina, where I'm from, Fort Bragg. Okay. So
awesome.
How does that work? Yeah. How does that work? Now, I promise you, I'm going to get you to let you know how that works in just a moment. But what I wanted to cover first is this concept of technology and real estate. And hopefully you are catching the wave, the trend, the understanding that real estate, how it is used, how it is acquired, how it is transacted, all of these things are changing. But what's constant about that change is how they're changing, or the mechanism that is bringing the change, dare I say forcing the change, and that is none other than technology. And I'm hoping you guys are paying attention, looking for those cracks, those inefficiencies, because that's where we make our money and margin, and that's where the opportunity lies. We're bringing an opportunity right to you right now. It is very, very clear. I'm hoping you can see it, and hoping that you're taking copious notes. You know what? Let's just get back to it.
So it actually works even better for folks like you. Like, I was stationed at Fort Bragg too, by the way, and that's a growing area.
Shh, don't tell everybody.
Yeah, exactly. So let's say you're shopping online and you say, hey, look, I found this home. I want to see it. You literally, just like Uber, you say, I want to see 323 Elm Street in Fayetteville, North Carolina tomorrow at noon.
Yep.
Or see these specific properties because you only want to fly in for a day, or maybe you don't even want to fly in and you just want that agent to FaceTime you while they're going through that, so you can see the interior and exterior. So suddenly now you can be a real estate investor nationwide. That invitation goes out to all agents in that area that have signed up, and I can tell you we've got great density in Fayetteville. We've got 1,800 agents in 47 states. And, these are agents from every brand. These are folks that want additional income. And so you purchase that service. It's $50. That invitation goes out to all the agents. It's a first come, first served basis. So it feels like Uber there, because then within minutes you get, hey, Jim Smith from Coldwell Banker or Jane from Independent Brokerage is going to show you that home tomorrow at noon. They call you, you get in touch with them, and if you're in person, that you meet at that property tomorrow at noon. That was another frustration that we wanted to solve, which is when you're only working with one agent, you're limited to that agent's time and ability.
Mm-hmm.
What we've created.
Sorry, you hit a sore point on that one. Right there.
Yeah. Have you ever wanted to see a home at 5:00 and they're like, hey, can we do it at Saturday at noon? It's like, there goes my whole weekend.
Yep.
So that never happens with us. So, and the nice thing is too, is the agents like it because they don't like clients that say, hey, would you like, let me see this property tomorrow at noon. And they're like, geez, is this even a serious buyer? Agents can decide when, where, and how they work and get paid when they do. Another radical concept that we're solving.
Totally revolutionary.
Exactly. And that's, you bring up a great point. And there's so many of your smart listeners that, maybe your area is saturated and you've got a ton of competition for real estate investing, but you're saying, I want to, go back home. I'm from a small town in Missouri. It's taken a long time for the housing recovery to get through the process. So there's still deals there. But there's not a lot of deals here where I live in Durham, North Carolina right now. This allows you to be a real estate investor nationwide. And we have we have signed initial partnerships with large real estate investment platforms that want to do just that. Instead of having to go market by market by market, suddenly they got the whole nation that they can invest into.
Got it. Now, I'm just going to throw this out there because I don't even know the answer, but I'm really curious to hear. What if I want something other than a single family house? Let's call it an apartment building.
Same. And that's where we've had interest from foreign buyers, because if you're buying, 323 Elm Street in Fayetteville, you want to take a look. But if you're buying condo 22B in Fort Lauderdale, new development, or wherever, it's
or
the
the
same
whole building, maybe,
or the whole building. Now that's interesting. Commercial. You and I might have to do a little offshoot on the commercial side. You sound like you got a lot of experience. What I've been told is there's even more inefficiency on the commercial side.
There is. That's why I'm asking.
Yes.
That's exactly why I'm asking.
Well, for all you entrepreneurs that are out there, I can't get there just yet. So if you can get there before me, have at it. It's another $1 trillion market that could use some more efficiency.
Yeah, a lot more. But that's okay. And part of the reason that I'm bringing this up is because I know we have a number of listeners in the UK, in Germany, Lithuania, Estonia, in the UAE, as well as in parts of Asia, and as well as expats living there, as well as Americans just living overseas right now. And they ask me this question because this is always the hurdle for them, is being able to do some of these basic things that you are now making very, very possible for each and everybody in a very, easy to understand format and price structure, et cetera, which I think, well, you're helping me and you don't even realize it, because you're helping a lot of our students and customers to be able to do some of these things without having to fly over just to build a team that can do these things. So I totally appreciate that.
Well, and look, and that's just the technology part of this. The other thing is just the savings. And for those of the folks that are trying to invest, obviously preserving your home equity and your investment equity is key. Mm-hmm. If you use an agent to buy and you use agents to sell, you hold for 5 to 7 years, average appreciation is 17%. You actually destroy about 53% of your home equity by using the agents. Now, GoldenKey allows you to buy the same property and you're just not paying commission. You're just paying the simple fees, honest, clear, transparent fees. So you know what you're getting into.
Now, we've talked a lot about the buy side. What about the sell side?
Sell side works exactly the same way. I want to list 323 Elm Street tomorrow at noon. Invitation goes out to agents. It actually feels much more like traditional real estate, because when you get matched with an agent there, that agent will list, come out, get it on the MLS, handle the offers, and then once an offer comes in and is accepted, that same agent takes you contract new close. The only difference is that in the listing agreement, there's one of two ways it happens. They either give you a credit back on the HUD, or on the listing agreement, they put in 0% is the commission offered to the listing agent. So you may, in some cases, we've had people get an actual check, but in most cases, on a $400,000 home, instead of getting $376, you get $388 back.
Got it. So, and then from the, I guess, agent side, they like this. The agents that are selling, they like this because.
Well, we always get this question. It's a great question. Like, why would an agent give up a $12,000 commission, and they make about $1,000 when they do it through us? And the reason is because it's not a choice of $12,000 or $1,000. It's a choice of $0 or $1,000. And because these are paying clients that are coming to pay these agents to, again, radically pay them for what they're going to do. And so agents like this because signing up is free. I encourage anyone that out there that has a real estate license or has a friend, say, sign up for GoldenKey. You're just giving up revenue opportunities. And these aren't leads. When somebody says, I want to see 323 Elm Street tomorrow at noon, they're going to pay you $50 to do that, regardless of whether they buy or sell. So why give up additional revenue? Sign up to, GoldenKey.com today.
Excellent. Okay. Totally understood. And I like what you guys are doing. I definitely like some of the frustration. I think a number of people I know are going to be checking this out simply because, again, you're removing frustration. So with that being said, though, I have a final question for you, because there's a number of people, and given your prior experience in the military, et cetera, I'm really, really interested in your answer here. There are a number of people who, let's just say for the sake of conversation that they're sitting in front of the superhero outfit store, Tommy. They think they want to move forward. I want to be that entrepreneur thing. I want to dive into this real estate thing. But yet in the back of their mind, they have that voice. And I know you know the voice I'm talking about. That voice that comes up anytime we think we want to do something great, be awesome in some way, just grow bigger than our present place. And for some people, unfortunately, they are actually related to that voice, and they got to deal with it. My question to you is, if you knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that they would actually follow through on your advice, and they would do so in the next 24 to 48 hours, what would you tell them to do?
Start now. And the other way to say this is quit waiting for this to be easy. Of course, Nice. It's going to be hard. Of course, you could wait until the stars align and everything is better and the kids are out of school and we got more money and all that sort of stuff. But what I've learned is that it actually gets harder the longer you wait. Like I ran for Congress a while ago. That was another kind of quit waiting for this to be easy. And I'm so glad that I did, for a lot of reasons. But one of them is I got two kids under 2 right now. There's no way that I'd be doing that right now. It's much harder, even though I'm in a much better financial situation than I was at that time. And it's the same thing in starting a business. It's the same thing in kind of all these big risks, which is start. Quit waiting for this to be easy.
Totally appreciate it. Again, I definitely want to thank you for the time that you've been able to contribute here today. And I thank you for the hours upon hours that you guys over there at GoldenKey have been putting in to make real estate easier for all of us. Again, thank you for your service, simply because I think it needs to be continually said. And thank you for the information, knowledge, wisdom, and insight that you shared with us here today at the Cashflow Diary, sir.
Of course, Jay. And if you need me to send you some North Carolina barbecue to get back to your roots, just let me know. All right.
You did not just go there.
I did.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. It's time for you to move at the speed of instruction. What does that mean today? It means GoldenKey.com. Go there. Figure it out. Make it happen. You've been looking, wanting, hoping for something like this. And well, now it's here. And you and I just heard something. Quit waiting for this to be easy. It's been fun talking to you guys today. I look forward to talking to you soon. Until next time.